Good afternoon and welcome to this afternoon's special council meeting of Glenorchy City Council, which is being live streamed on Monday, the 15th of June 2026. My name is Sue Hickey. I'm Mayor of Glenorchy and the chairperson for this afternoon's workshop. Glenorchy City Council acknowledges the Muramina people as the traditional owners of this land. We recognise the Tasmanian Aboriginal people as the original owners and continuing custodians of the land and waters of this island of Twitter. We pay our respect to Aboriginal elders past and present. We commit to working in a way that welcomes and respects all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. Joining me here in Council Chambers is Alderman Peter Riddler, Alderman Justin Stringer, Alderman Tim Marks, our Deputy Mayor, Alderman Russell Yaxley, Emilio Reale, CEO, Alderman Stephen King, Alderman Stuart Slade, Alderman Josh Cockshott, and Alderman Shane Alderton. Before we open our agenda, I take this opportunity to make a statement about workplace health and safety. Glenorchy City Council takes workplace health and safety seriously, and this includes physical and psychological safety. We have a duty to ensure that our workplace is a safe place for our employees, elected members, contractors, volunteers and members of the public who may be present at Council's workshops. Council meetings form part of the Council's workplace, and it is expected that everyone who attends Council meetings will behave in a polite and respectful manner. Thank you. Council has endorsed a statement of intent setting out how we as elected members have agreed to conduct ourselves in representing the people of Glenorchy. In accordance with this, any disagreement should be expressed respectfully, remembering both during debate and in decision making that we are elected to represent and serve the people of Glenorchy and to make our city the best it can be. Finally, I note that this meeting is being recorded and the audio-visual recording of the meeting will occur in accordance with the Council's recording of Council meetings policy. Members of the public are not permitted to make audio-visual recordings of Council meetings. We have 6 items on our agenda this afternoon, and agenda item 1 is apologies, and we have received an apology from Molly Kendall, Councillor Molly Kendall this afternoon, so thank you. Now we have announcements by the Chair. So first of all, the pool. Crews have been working through challenging conditions to keep the full redevelopment project on track, with significant progress made across the site in recent weeks. The redevelopment remains on schedule and within budget, with the head contract works now at 90% completion. Following the handover of the site back to Council, Council will commence work on landscaping and putting the finishing touches on the site. Our events team have started to plan what the public opening on the 1st of October would look like, and are keen to hear from any ideas from the public. So if you've got something special you'd like to consider, please send it to us. Now, the Youth Hub. The Thursday afternoon trial youth drop-in sessions are going really well, and we're very pleased to see this happening. We're looking forward to the opening up of the space 5 days a week from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. come the 1st of July. We have had great feedback from one of the flexible education providers, Blended, following their recent sessions at the Youth Hub. Just in case you're not certain what Blended is, it's one of the 3 providers we have in the city for youth who do not fit mainstream schooling. Principal Tom highlighted the strength of the partnership, noting that the Youth Hub continues to provide a safe, welcoming and highly effective space for young people seeking connection. It's encouraging to see the collaboration delivering such positive outcomes for participants. The new outdoor half court outside the Youth Hub is proving to be very popular, as you can see from that screenshot. Built to support Council's after-school basketball program and provide a safe, positive space for young people to connect, stay active, the court is already being well used. The court forms part of the Council's ongoing commitment to creating accessible recreational spaces and supporting positive youth engagement in the community. Congratulations to our community development team for their efforts in creating such a warm and supportive environment. Their approach is clearly making a meaningful difference in ensuring young people feel safe, engaged and supported. And I'm really proud to say that I've been contacted by one of the major city councils in Tasmania, looking to see how they might implement our model, which would be really good, because I think as a council this is probably one of the proudest things we've been able to provide in our term, apart from, of course, the famous pool. Murals. A striking new artwork is now on display on the kiosk outside Chambers as part of a new rotating exhibition art space project. The initiative will see vinyl wrap murals commissioned from local artists, creating an ever-changing showcase of creativity in prominent community spaces. The first work in the series, The Profuse Patch, was created by local artist Lee Rigossi. The Cooper Street mural is now complete. This mural is a fabulous addition to the streetscape and a great example of how public art can brighten our city and celebrate local creativity. Apex Park. Our latest play space at Apex Park, Lutama, is now complete. Situated across the road from the upgraded Newtown Rivulet track, the improvements to this park provide new accessible play equipment for children and their families to enjoy. And last week, in the pouring rain, a group of students and myself, as a former student of Sacred Heart College, with these students, helped the students up there. Yes. Oh no, that's a. Oh yes. I think we're moving on to the next shot. That's all of us inspecting that park and making sure that it's quality controlled. But there should be a photo coming up of students in the rain. You have that one? Yes, there we are. Yay. See the big child in the middle with the white top on? Yes. She was very grubby by the end of that. It was pouring with rain, and as we dug the holes for the plants, they'd fill up with water, and there were ducks paddling nearby. It was an absolutely fantastic day to see the joy in those children's faces. The planting marks the culmination of months of work by the students who learned about native plants, collected seeds and raised seedlings before helping establish the new forest. These pocket forests are absolutely fantastic, and once established, the pocket forests will provide habitat for local wildlife, improve biodiversity and contribute to a healthier urban environment. So I hope the next one we get to do, you'll all come along and join us. Refreshed council website. Our new website will go live this week. The refreshed site will feature a modern new look, improved navigation, enhanced search functionality and more accessible content, making it easier for community members to find the information and services they need. And again, we're always happy to get any feedback or any improvements you might think of. Works at Austin's Ferry. Roadworks are underway on Main Road, Austin's Ferry, near St Virgil's College, with crews working to deliver new bike lanes that will improve safety and connectivity for cyclists travelling through the area. The project is expected to take around 3 weeks to complete, weather permitting. And upcoming events, Finding Freedom exhibition at the Moona Arts Centre. In celebration of Refugee Week, the Finding Freedom exhibition at the Moona Arts Centre highlights the work of artists from refugee backgrounds who now call the Truita Tasmania home. Drawing on traditional art practices and newly developed skills, the artists came together through workshops facilitated by Migrant Resource Centre Tasmania, Multicultural Youth Tasmania and the Phoenix Centre. In these sessions, artists explored themes of freedom, diversity and community. The resulting exhibition is a vibrant celebration of the diversity of our community, showcasing artists from a range of cultural backgrounds, including Afghan, Eritrean, Ethiopian, Myanmar and Bhutanese. This exhibition is on until the 28th of June and entry to the galleries is free. Refugee Week Community Lunch. MCOT will host a community lunch to celebrate Refugee Week. It will be held at the Multicultural Hub in Moona on Wednesday, 17th of June from 12 to 2 p.m. I've been to several of these and they are a lot of fun if you'd like to join us. Sorry?
I'm going.
You're going to, thank you. Catholic Care Tasmania and Tasmania Refugee Legal will also be there. To register your attendance, visit Humanitix to get a ticket. Prospective councillor session. If you're thinking of standing for council in the upcoming elections, we are partnering with Riyadh to host a free information session on Wednesday, the 1st of July at the Moona Arts Centre at 5:30 p.m. for community members interested in standing. This session will cover what council does, how decisions are made, what it really means to be an elected member and what you need to know about the election process. Information on this session and how to RSVP will be promoted on our Facebook page, website and through Let's Talk Glenorchy. And Places of Glenorchy. Our latest Places of Glenorchy video reel features Tolosa Skate Park. Just watch this video. It obviously looks a lot more fun when you see people using it. It might have been good with some music behind it, but it's a beautiful skate park in a magnificent public place. Glenorchy regularly hosts events up there for skateboarding. I think that's rolling on, is it, Tim?
Nearly
Thank you. So as you can see, we're always looking for things to entertain and give outside energy to for youth and anyone a little bit older too, for that matter. So we're now moving on to pecuniary interest notification. Does anyone present have any pecuniary interests they'd like to notify? No, thank you. Item 4, public question time. We have up to 15 minutes and we have allowed 3 questions per person. The council meeting is a formal meeting of the elected members elected by the Glenorchy community. It is chaired by the Mayor. Public question time is an opportunity in the formal meeting for the public to ask questions of their elected council representatives about matters that affect ratepayers and citizens. In accordance with regulations 36, 37 and 38 of public question time, local government meeting regulation procedures 2025, council will allocate 15 minutes during each council meeting to invite members of the public to ask questions relating to the activities of council. The following rules and procedure apply to the public question time. Questions must relate to the activities of council. Members of the public are to announce their name and residential address before asking a question, which will be recorded in the minutes. Questions should be put succinctly and in the form of a question, not a comment. Questions must not be inflammatory, abusive, defamatory, contain a personal attack, or otherwise breach any rules of the meeting which have been explained by the chairperson. The chairperson may limit the number of questions asked by each member of the public in order to ensure that all members of the public wishing to ask questions are given the opportunity within the allocated time. And it goes on to say that the chairperson, that is myself, will choose the order of people making the questions, and the rest of it is pretty well as we've always explained. So we're just going to ask the public. Does anyone like to come and ask a question? Eddie, would you like to come forward, please, and take a chair? State your name and address.
My name is Eddie Steenbergen and I live in Rosetta.
Thank you.
All of these questions are about bits and pieces throughout tonight's agenda.
That's okay. See how you go. Do it in 3 questions.
The first one is about Project Phoenix, which was mentioned. Does that relate to Project Hudson, or is that something brand new?
So, through the CEO?
Yes, and I'll ask the Deputy CEO to provide that.
Project Phoenix is the core systems replacement, so it's with a different provider to Project Hudson under a new contract, and is a replacement in 2 phases. Phase 1 is HR, finance, procurement, contracts, asset management. Phase 2 is property and rating system and planning and development and customer service. We are due to complete phase 1 in mid-November this year.
How does it relate to Project Hudson? Doesn't it?
It's different
It doesn't.
provider, different, yeah.
Okay.
Although Project Hudson was replacement of core system, that one failed, so we've gone with a different provider.
Okay, thank you. In the budget documents, it mentions we're going from an operating surplus to a balanced break-even budget. For the benefit of ratepayers, what's the difference?
Michael?
Yeah, very good question. So essentially, for the FY26 budget, which is the current year that's just about to finish, we are obviously forecasting and budgeting for a small surplus of about 500,000. Generally, when council has a surplus, that allows us to put a bit of that money into our cash reserves and then invest them back into capital works to deliver projects to the community. So that's a surplus budget. Going to a break-even budget, obviously we're not looking to make a surplus or a deficit, so it's essentially break-even. So essentially there's not going to be any additional cash savings that will be put into our cash reserves for then investment back into the community.
Okay. It's called a balanced break-even. Does balanced mean something?
It's balanced to zero. I think that's what it means.
Okay. So I don't quite understand how they can relate to the cash position dropping from 25 million to 23 million. How does that work together?
Yeah, so the way that council manages its cash reserves, so cash reserves are different from the operating budget. So the operating budget looks at our day-to-day income and expenses that we incur in order to obviously provide the services to the community, and that's the core budget. Our cash reserves are, cash reserves that have resulted from the sale of assets or from receiving grants or from surpluses that we've obviously accrued in the past. So, for example, we are planning that our cash reserves will drop from about 25 million this year to 23 million next year, and that's primarily due to more capital works projects that we are working on. And also we have the purchase of the Terry Street building. So that will sort of cost an additional, that'll cost around $2 million, $2.5 million. So that's why our cash reserves will go down a little bit, because we're spending more cash than what we are planning on saving through a budget surplus.
I think I get that. So it is different from simply having an operating surplus of zero.
Yes.
Okay. Right. Moving on. The report also mentioned that council is going to self-insure all its infrastructure. Can someone tell me a little bit more about that and how much we'll actually save in the process?
That's a pretty common thing in government, but I'll pass that to the CEO.
Thanks, Mayor. We're not self-insuring for everything, only things that our insurance company that don't cover, like extreme storm events, acts of terrorism, earthquake, that sort of thing. So if there was insurance for it, it would be very, very expensive. So we're basically just saying that we're self-insuring for those components. Like extreme flood events, for example, we've had some of those, and we've had to do the rectification repair work out of our own budget. In fact, we draw down our cash to do those rectification works and upsize the infrastructure if we need to.
Okay.
Question 5.
Moving on. The agenda also says that council hasn't allowed a contingency, the word sentences, a contingency in the budget. Did we have a contingency last financial year, and what was it?
Mayor, the contingency being referred to would be if we had a budget surplus. We don't have a budget surplus. We've got that break-even balanced budget. So that means our costs, our expenses are matching our revenue. So we don't have any extra surplus in case something else happens down the track, like another fuel crisis or something like that. We'll have to manage that within our existing needs.
Related to that, does having a break-even budget change the way the council manages its funds through the year?
We will continue to manage them the way we currently manage them. We are very detailed in terms of our analysis and checking how much we're spending from month to month. Obviously, those reports are reported and included in the council papers. So we will continue to monitor our budget on a monthly basis and ensure that we don't sort of go over our budget. If we do, we will assess to understand whether that's a timing issue or whether that's a bigger issue, and then act accordingly.
Okay, thank you.
So if it helps, Eddie, being a not-for-profit, it's sort of a conscious decision of this council in very difficult times for our ratepayers, that we didn't load it up at the front end with rate increases that were completely unaffordable.
Okay, thank you for that.
So we're trying to live within our means as best we can.
Okay. 2 quickies.
I'm in a good mood.
Makes up for it. It mentions the council's decided to buy heavy machinery instead of leasing it. Are we going to save much in the process?
Yes, we will. Yeah, absolutely. So the strategy previously used to be to lease heavy machinery, and we used to lease heavy machinery during times when interest rates were quite low. Now that interest rates are quite high, or a lot higher than what they were before, it's actually a lot more expensive to lease rather than buy. So yes, the council will save money as a result of that.
Thank you. And finally, the major capital works report mentions 880,000 for new footpaths and cycleways. How much of that is for footpaths?
Yes. We asked Director Patrick Marshall.
Yeah, so that's for new, not renewal.
Yes.
Yeah, so we already have our footpath renewal budget, which is separate to that.
Yes.
That 880 is for new pathways and cycleways. The majority of that will be spent at Main Road Granton, continuing the shared path out there.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for your continued interest and diligence. Item 6 is governance, and we're going to move to item 6.1, which is the budget estimates. So can I have someone move this?
Petitions.
Oh, beg your pardon, I missed the whole section. So do we have any petitions or addressing council meeting?
No.
No, thank you. You must have known the answer to that. So item 6.1 is the budget estimates for 2026-27. Do I have someone move this, please? Thank you, Alderman King.
I'll second.
I think you were just beaten by the deputy.
I think so.
You don't think so?
It's all right. Try and get it.
Sorry, you don't mind? Okay, thank you. We'll make that then Alderman Riddler. Thank you, Alderman King.
Thank you, Mayor. Here we are. It's a bit like a birthday. Every year this comes around, the budget. And as a responsible council, we spend a lot of time on this. I want the community to know that anyone that's listening has heard from our CEO, Assistant CEO, our directors, and particularly our CFO, our Chief Financial Officer, who's given us as aldermen, because only a few of us are probably trained to the level that he is, a really good understanding of our budget and where we stand and why we are where we are. There's been numerous happenings in the world that have affected every family's budget, as inflationary costs, with the cost of fuel increasing due to wars in the Middle East, just natural inflation, and we've got additional costs state government have imposed upon us with our 54% increase at their waste area and the fire levy increase of 5.43%. So there are increases all around, and we've had to incorporate these into the charges that we charge our residents and businesses. So here we are. We've had a lot of, as I said, a lot of education around this. I'm sure there'll be a lot of discussion around this tonight. I would open this up for discussion, but I think the figure that we've come at, due to the fact that we're also bringing the pool back online this year, which the community wanted but need to pay for, there's an increase there with depreciation and running costs of around $700,000 a year on top of our normal council budget. What we haven't experienced the last few years because the pool hasn't been running. So here we are, giving the community the best we can with new parks, upgraded parks, roadways, streets, and the pool, and we've come up with a figure of 5.4%. Our staff haven't, and we as aldermen are looking to either approve or disapprove that tonight. So I'd leave it open now to fellow aldermen to discuss and see where we land.
Okay, thank you, Alderman King. Anyone else like to offer a contribution? Alderman Alderton.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Look, I thank Michael for his hard work and the fact that we are delivering a budget that, while it's not fantastic to go out and ask the ratepayer to pay 5.4% increase in percentage-wise rise for rates, I'm just thankful that we've recognised people are struggling, people are doing it tough, and we haven't thrown 8, 9 or even 10% at them to get us into surplus. So we've got a very responsible budget here. It's a balanced budget. It's going to be a challenging budget, but I think as a council and as a group of elected members and with our great financial team, I think we'll rise above the occasion and we'll weather the storm and we'll make this work. The only other thing I had was for Michael was a question around assets classified as held for sale, which was $167,000. It's carried over from last year. What is or what are assets classified as held for sale, and are they easily converted to cash if we need to?
Yeah. So the accounting requirement is for us to recognise anything that we are looking to sell in the next 12 months as an asset held for sale. That amount most likely relates to probably a small parcel of land that we're holding there that we are planning on selling. Again, the timing of that is sometimes a little bit uncertain, but that's what it would relate to. And again, the accounting requirements require us to classify those items into like assets held for sale.
Right, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else like to make a contribution? Thank you, Debbie.
Thank you, Mayor, through you. Yeah, this was certainly a tough budget, and the one we've all fought very hard for, and one that I've sort of fought hard for. Obviously, there are months of preparation and working up to this tonight. You know, there was some push around in terms of trying to push for a surplus, trying to have some cash reserves to ensure that we had adequate money for the unknown things that are happening in our world at the moment. And I guess we are, after a number of questions and some answers that come back to it, I still believe, and I'm comfortable that we haven't lifted the rates so much that we are producing a surplus this year. I really don't think our community can really do it right now. It's a tough budget. It's tough out there at the moment, as fellow alderman has discussed. But in all this, we still need to be financially responsible. We must remember that we must be diligent in that. We must ensure that we're dotting every I and crossing every T regarding the budget. But we must always remember that at council, we're here for a community, and we're not here as a corporation to make super profits. We shouldn't really be holding a large surplus. It's probably not the time to be holding that, and I think it would be unfair and unnecessary if we did do that this year. And so when I look at the budget in front of us tonight, I'm really proud of where it's landed. It's an operating result that's balanced. It's a year that we hold the line and we remain steady, and I believe it's the right one. It's the right one for the families that are watching the bills coming in the door, the pensioners that are doing the sums at the table, and the young couple who have done everything they can to live in our city, and they're feeling the pinch of every dollar right at the moment. So I believe that as a council, we shouldn't be adding that pressure unnecessarily. Like Alderman Alderson mentioned, in terms of, we could have increased the rates to an 8%, 9% and had a surplus. But I'm really pleased to see that we've held that back for our community. But it does carry some risk, like it's been mentioned, with no contingency built in, so the margins are thin. So we've really got to be alert and agile, and we must be really aware of that. And I'm pleased that our council provides many of our reports up as a monthly basis to have some oversight of that, and so that the community can be confident and secure in that things are being managed, that every dollar is being looked after, and that the value of what we are operating in, that we're looking after that for the community's benefit. And I believe that we've been able to do this right now. We've been able to have a balanced budget because of the work we've done in the last 3 years. And I want to commend everyone around the table for making tough decisions, and certainly our team, our CFO, our CEO, and our directors, in terms of making sure that we look after the funds and that we're in a position that we can actually create a balanced budget in such tough times. And it's something that we should all be very proud of. So this is the sort of budget that I will keep us holding us to. It's fair, it's upfront, and it's for our community, and it's a budget that I would support tonight.
Thank you. Anyone else? No? Oh, thank you, Alderman.
Thanks, Mayor. I support the budget. Having been through a number of workshops, fantastic learned staff, my colleagues here, I feel that we've really had bounced things backs and forwards. And that's our role as elected members, is to look at where we can go in relation to a budget and whatever. Yes, look, with any budget like this, there is an increase. But at the end of the day, we also, good governance is that we've got to be responsible for the assets of the city as well. And if we have good assets for the city as well, then that gives a longer life and, of course, less dollars for the ratepayer down the track. When we actually look at the list here, and a number of my fellow aldermen have been through these, and can I say also that the collegiality in this council in the last few years of coming together on issues is second to none. It's been brilliant. But the collegiality in relation to dealing with governance from a financial point of view is probably been 10 out of 10. And that's really, really, really important when you have senior staff that can liaise with the mayor and the alderman on a level where we can have really good discussions and whatever, and then at meetings we express our view, but we come to consensus on things. That's what we have done in particular this year. But when you actually look at some of the costs there in relation to the reopening of the pool, which has been a big cost for the council, and you've got to remember that over 90% of the people in the city wanted that pool open. So again, we really are delivering well there. There's a cost there which I won't go into, but
landfill and those type of ones, the youth hub and whatever. I think what really, and I really hark back to this thing about assets and whatever, I feel we are providing the community with a real fresh Glenorchy. Our parks in particular, where young people play and other people come around and just gather for good community involvement, have never looked better. I mean, some of them were shocking. And we really have put them up to a speed, to a limit, or to a level that we're the envy of other people for the way we do these. So I think that's something we're really proud of in relation to when you do things like budget increases, that what you've actually put on the plate. And I think they are really looking good. I don't think the city has looked cleaner or better at the present moment. We're working on graffiti strategies and those type of things. Of course, more will be done, but I just think the present moment is looking really great for what's happened in the last 4 years. It's just going up slowly like this. I think also, we said we had employee costs, and of course we know that what's happening around the world just resulted in things like diesel costs and whatever. But being able to bring that together, and I call it the fiscal washing machine, where the poor CEO has got to put that in there, and then what comes out in relation to his expenses, but also we want to make sure there's good stuff going there in respect to income is a top effort. And I always say to people in the community that we're not like, and the deputy has referred that, we're not like a corporation from point of view. We don't have these 10 or 12 tentacles of income. We're very, very limited as an organisation. Basically, a council, and nothing's changed really in 30, 40, 50 years. Your rate base and your costs in relation to charges and those things, and if you're a clever council, some interest there as well, that's your only income. We don't have all these. So to work with just that particular base in that, and then just come out with at times some pretty scary expenses, I think the balance has been absolutely well done this year. I feel very comfortable with it. I again commend the senior staff for what they've done, and I feel that in particular with the pool open and just how the city's looking at the present moment, I can say to you, Mayor, that I feel that the community is going to accept this in the spirit that it's been written in and the rationale behind why we have proposed that. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further commentary? No?
Yeah.
Alderman Cockshott?
Yeah, thanks, Mayor. I echo my fellow aldermen and elected members around the table. I think it's a very strong budget. I think the hard yards we've done over the last couple of years to get the debt free has allowed us to have this position here tonight. And we don't take it lightly, a 5.4% increase, but like my fellow elected members have said, it could have been a lot higher if we weren't as diligent over the past couple of years. So we understand people are hurting. It is a reminder as well, there is multiple ways and payment plan options available to those who might be doing it tough at the moment, so whether it's weekly, fortnightly, monthly. Have a chat to our wonderful customer service team and can help in that regard. And also with the pool, obviously we're coming on live in October. That's an additional $700,000 into the budget, not to mention the depreciation and all the operating costs involved there, which Alderman King brought up at the start of the meeting. But obviously 90% of people who voted for it, it's here. We look forward to having the asset hopefully for a long time, and we'll keep working towards a brand new facility and flying the flag for the state and federal government for the $84 million project. Overall, as we stand here tonight, super happy with how the budget's come to land, and really appreciate all the hard work people put in behind the scenes to get to this position. So, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? No? Okay, well, again, I thought the comments made by my fellow aldermen and elected representatives. This is a council that had 11 years of deficit budgets, which is not a fun place to be. It took years to get the council back on its feet, and the results, as Alderman Slater said, has been very impressive. We've got a tidy, clean city. We've got beautiful parks, beautiful play equipment, lots of great governance and new improvements in how we operate. There was, considerable work put into this. We've attended numerous budget workshops to get to the point we've landed at. It's very tempting in what is an election year for some councils, and I've seen this with my own eyes, where a mayor tried to push very hard for a zero budget or zero rate rise. But that leaves you in a terrible position for many years to come. You can never recover that, and you're well behind the eight ball. And of course, then to make up for that, you've got to drop your standards in cleanliness and lots of other operational features that you offer your community and which they come to rely on. So I think the general consensus from our council was this is a really, really tough year. We're very aware that there were rising costs all around us, and particularly for our ratepayers. So coming in at a moderate 5.4, I think it's actually less than that, 5.3, what is it? Yeah, 5.4% interest rate was because we identify ourselves as a not-for-profit and we were being fiscally responsible. So we will be working very hard with the officers throughout the year to make sure that we stay within budget, that we monitor everything very, very closely, because it's really critical, and that's our contribution back to the community. So obviously it will have to be reviewed again next year, but I think this is something that I'm more than happy to say that as a council we've done a lot of work. We can reassure our community that this is a pretty good outcome and one that we're all, I think, reasonably confident in standing behind. So now back to Alderman King to sum up.
Thank you, Mayor, through you, and thank you for the discussion we've had around the table. For the community that may be watching this, this is really the tip of the iceberg of many, many hours of discussion, training around what a budget could be, should be, and here we are today. It's been suggested that it is an election year, and I don't think anyone around this table sat around and thought it's an election year or we've got to worry about the budget. We've sat around and thought this is the budget that we've got to do for the community, to give the community the best that we can. And I'm really grateful, as Alderman Slade said, with the collegiality around this table. Couples have been here a long time, and it's the best, in my view, that it's ever been. The city is looking the best that it's looked in a long time. As mentioned, it's clean, it's vibrant, our parks are vibrant, and not just the staff. Our team all the way through, we've got roughly 320 FTEs in this council, and we have an incredible culture in this council at the moment. Incredible culture that's driven from I won't say the bottom, but from the base, from our workers all over. And we're very fortunate, and that culture has helped in bringing this budget to you tonight. It's been suggested that times are tough. I don't remember a budget where times haven't been tough, to be honest, but that's just the nature of the budget. And I think I've had one person in all the years thank me for the budget that we did when we increased things, but that's the nature of taking the courage. That's what we do as aldermen councillors, to set a budget. It takes a bit of courage to come and do that. So anyone who's looking to join a council in the future, be aware this is the most fun time of the year. So here we are. I recommend this budget to council, and I'm really grateful for the discussion and the people that I work with here.
Okay, with that, I'm going to put that to the vote. All those in favour, please raise your hand, and it's carried unanimously.
Point of order, Mayor. I think
Yes,
we have to say that it's unanimous. Absolute majority, sorry. Under the Act, section 82 says budget to be carried by absolute
Well, I
majority.
bow to your higher judgment and we'll say it's an absolute vote. What did you say?
Absolute majority, which we've got.
Okay, thank you. So we now move on to item 6.11, which is the Glenorchy City Council 2026-27 budget estimates, the statement of financial position, long-term financial management plan. Who would like to open this one, please?
Yeah.
Thank you, Alderman Cockshott. And the Deputy, thank you.
Yeah, look, like I've said, a lot of investment going into our capital works program, about $20 to $21 million. 13 of that obviously is for new and existing works here, which is super exciting. All the projects are listed within the document. So Lots of things to come out of this budget, and then capital works program in terms of roads, upgrades. Obviously, Telesa Street, we've already started that. So I think lots of big projects in here, super exciting times. And it goes to we have got the funds to invest back into the city and maintain and keep up that cleanliness and continue the upgrades throughout the city, transport, stormwater, property. It's all here. So still a super exciting program. It is a bit smaller than last year given the grant and the structure of that, but overall, still a huge investment back into the city and all our assets.
Thank you, Alderman Cockshott. Obviously, I got that wrong. It's item 6.2. Yes, the 26-27 capital works program budget. So thank you for introducing that. And it was seconded by the deputy. Anyone like to add to the discussion? No? In that case, I'm going to put that motion. All those in favour? Carried unanimously and as an absolute majority.
Not required.
Not required, okay. Thank you.
That did.
Thank you.
Advise it.
Okay, so now we're moving to item 6.3. Yep, 6.3. And this is the Glenorchy City Council Annual Plan, 2026-27 to 2029-30. Thank you, Deputy. We'd like to send to thank you on remarks. Deputy.
Thank you, Matt, through you. Our annual plan, obviously we've talked a lot about it in our capital discussion and our budget, but this annual plan really can be defined, I believe, in one sentence, which is doing the essentials well, working within our means and delivering for our city. And that's exactly what many people around the city of Glenorchy are doing right now. They're watching what comes in, they're watching it go out, and then making sure that things that really matter are being done really well. We're putting essentials first, our roads, our footpaths, our parks, maintaining our environments, the natural and the urban environments, delivering our community services that people rely on. And it's not, a lot of this doesn't make headlines unless it's a massive pothole or, something major's happening. So it doesn't make headlines, and it's not certainly a lot of it is a photo opportunity in a paper, but it really is the backbone of our city. Our priority projects are moving, our action plans behind that are keeping them accountable. And so I'm really pleased to see this annual plan come up. We're all passionate about Glenorchy, and we all want to see having a city grow, and it's worth the effort. We've got history, we've got character, we've got so much potential in front of us, and I believe that we will continue to keep going forward as long as we continue to keep with our plans and moving forward together. So pleased to support the annual plan.
Thank you. Alderman Alston.
Yes, thank you. I'd just like to add on to Deputy Mayor's sentiments. This plan is very vital for our community. Without this plan, we wouldn't be delivering something like supporting young people through the youth hub. We wouldn't be advocating increasing for housing supply through releasing our own land. We wouldn't be improving community services, safety and inclusion, nor would we be progressing with some of our play spaces. So it's a very important plan, because without that plan, we would not be able to deliver many of the objectives that we're going to deliver.
Excellent, thank you. Anyone else like to make a contribution? Thank you, Alderman Sloan.
Yeah, I love these plans. They give us a really good reckoner of for the community and also to ourselves that where we want to be in that 4-year period. And I think it's really, really good that when you actually look at it, and there's a couple of statements in here that really know our focus is clear to manage our finances in a way that protects essential services today while preserving our capacity to invest in the future. That's what we're doing as a council. That's what we're doing as a bunch of as a group of elected members. And one of those particular roles is to be strategic. And this is what this is about. And the way that's delivered is fantastic. Embraces all the projects that we've spoken about that are underway and more to be done. I love the way that the priority actions are there, who we're going to partner with, whatever. I think it makes good reading, it really does. Outlines, who's in our different departments, purpose why we go about certain things. it's like a refresh to have next to you in relation to as elected member that, we look at, these are the goals that we are all about. And when we set that budget tonight, these points came into my head at the weekend while I was reading this. And I think it's important that they're in the plan, in particular CEO and the Mayor. Making lives better, tick. Building image and pride, tick. Open for business, tick. Leading our community, tick. Valuing our environment. That's what we have decided strategically, and that's how we're going to move that into an operational arm where these things can be achieved. So I don't want to say any more than that, Mayor, but the fact is that I think the plan has been thought out well. It has not had things just thrown into it that are not relevant. They are all relevant and backed up with the financial capabilities of our council. And I look forward going forward and using this as a very valuable tool. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Alderman King.
Through you, Mayor, just briefly, appreciate all the comments being made, particularly Alderman Slade mentioned the goals in the plan. There's an old saying that says if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And having a community plan gives us direction, gives us guidance, gives us hope, gives us opportunity. And I think that all those things that Alderman Slade mentioned there's still room to improve. We can still be better, be open for business. There are areas that we can get better at, but we're going, without pumping ourselves, I think we're going quite well, and we should be able to say we're going well, and we should be able to say where we need to improve. So well done again to everyone in this team of Glenorchy City Council that's driving us in the direction that's making this a better place for everyone to live, work and play.
Thank you. Anyone else? No, and I think Alderman King, you just hit on a very valuable point. It is the fact that not only are we a collegiate council working together, but we are supported by a really innovative, passionate and really driven team from the CEO through the directors and down to all of the staff. So I think we're immensely grateful for the work they do because let's face it, we don't prune the roses, we're not sweeping the streets or any of those jobs, but they're all vital and essential for a lovely, clean city that we can all be proud to live in. So, Deputy, would you like to sum up?
Yeah, just a final comment. Yeah, thank you through you. I think it's something that we can, from the CEO onwards and down to everyone, like you mentioned there, in our teams and in our places, to go confidently in the action plan. We're confident in it to go ahead and to deliver confidently, deliver with passion and deliver with pride. So I'm really excited about what this next year will bring. And I'm also really looking forward to seeing and hearing the feedback from our community, how things are improving and the pride has been improving. It's really excellent to hear. So I'm very much looking forward to the year ahead, and well done to everyone.
Yes, thank you. Yes, it might sound like a bit of a kumbaya loving, but I've got to say it's fantastic work in an organisation that is progressive and passionate rather than one that's struggling and fighting amongst itself, as some of our neighbouring councils might be. Might be, yes. So I'm going to put that to the vote. All those in favour, please raise your hands, and it's carried unanimously. As Alderman Slade would say, tick.
Yeah.
Now, can we move on to 6.4, which is notices of motion, questions on notice or without notice? Are there any? Alderman Marks?
Oh, you said to move.
Oh, to move it, I beg your pardon. Do you want to move it? You don't have to move it. No, we don't have to move it. No, sorry. Yes. So, anyway, does anyone have one?
Moving on.
Question? No? That's good. All right, with that, I'm going to thank you all for your attendance tonight and your participation in our council special meeting. I'm going to bring it to a close, wishing you a safe life and wish you good night.